My partner took my savings to fund a trip with another woman. When I confronted him, he brushed it off, saying, "Chill, you'll move on." His friends ridiculed me, and one of them called me pitiful. Days later, he was leaving desperate voicemails, pleading for forgiveness. Ethan and I have been together for a little over 3 years. We don't officially share a home, but he spends most nights at my place since his apartment is a 40-minute commute to his workplace, while mine's just 15 minutes away. We discussed moving in together next year when my lease expires. At least that was the intention. Financially, we're both middle of the road. We split date expenses, take turns buying groceries, and I thought we had a balanced setup. I've been saving for a year and a half for a deposit and first month's rent for a nicer place when we move in together. It wasn't a fortune, about $2,800, but it came from small sacrifices. Bringing lunch from home, skipping coffee runs, picking up extra weekend shifts when I could. Last Friday, I opened my banking app to transfer funds from my car insurance and nearly dropped my phone. My savings showed $267, not the $2,800 plus it should have been. I assumed it was a glitch or maybe a hack. Panicked, I called the bank. After verifying my identity, the representative found a $2,550 withdrawal made 3 days earlier, one I didn't authorize. When asked if anyone else had access to my account, my heart sank. Ethan knows my phone passcode. I've never kept it secret. We've always had an open phone policy, and he's seen me enter my banking app PIN before. I never imagined he'd use it against me. I thanked the rep and hung up, then checked my app's security logs. The withdrawal was made in person at a branch across town using my ID. I hadn't visited that branch in months. Ethan must have taken my driver's license from my purse, probably while I was showering or asleep. I called him, but it went to voicemail. I texted, asking where he was and if we could talk. Hours later, he responded that he was out with friends and would be back tomorrow. Something felt wrong. That night, I couldn't sleep, trying to rationalize it. Maybe it was an emergency he hadn't mentioned. Maybe he was planning a surprise. But I knew I was kidding myself. The next morning, I checked his Instagram, which he rarely uses. Nothing new. Then I looked at his friend Jake's stories and my world shattered. There was Ethan, arm around a woman I didn't know, on a beach. Jake's caption read, "Day 2 of paradise with these sweethearts." Sweethearts, plural. More stories showed Ethan with this woman, tagged as Sophia, at a Cancun resort, one that would cost about $2,500 for two. I felt nauseous. 3 years together and he'd stolen my savings to vacation with another woman. I sat on my bathroom floor, alternating between tears and numbness. When Ethan returned Sunday night, he acted like everything was fine. Tanned, smiling, tossing his bag by the door. He tried to hug me, but I stepped back and confronted him about his trip. He initially stuck to his hanging with friends story. But when I showed him Jake's Instagram, his attitude shifted. Not to guilt, but irritation, like I'd caught him in a trivial lie. He admitted taking the money, calling it a spur-of-the-moment thing. Sophia had free tickets and needed a companion, he said, promising to repay me eventually. When I pointed out he could barely cover groceries, he got defensive, saying it wasn't like he took my rent money. It was just sitting there. I reminded him it was our future home fund, saved through my sacrifices. He laughed. We can't share the full story in this short video. Click the link in the description to watch the complete story. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like.